Friends, welcome to this session on online educational tool. I thank Dr. Prashant Dolia and Sunil Dwivedi sir for inviting me for this session. And today we will discuss about some of the online educational tools. Now we will start with online education. મિત્રો આપણને ખબર છે કે અત્યારે ઓનલાઈન એજ્યુકેશન છે એ યુજીસી પણ રેકમેન્ડ કરે છે. યુજીસી એવું કહે છે કે વિદ્યાર્થી પોતાના અમુક પેપર્સ છે એ સ્વયં પર કરી શકે, રાઈટ? તો આપણે સિદ્ધા સ્વયં પર નથી જઈ શકતા. તો સ્વયં પર જવા માટે આપણે અમુક પ્રોસેસ ફોલો કરવી પડે છે. તો આ પ્રોસેસ કર્યા પછી જ આપણે સ્વયં પર જઈ શકશું, રાઈટ? પણ ત્યાં સુધી આપણે શું કરી શકીએ કે મારે આજથી જ મારે ઓનલાઈન એજ્યુકેશન શરૂ કરવું છે, તો મારે શું કરવું? તો એના માટે તમારે four quadrant approach which is recommended by UGC should be adopted. So four quadrant approach શું છે? તો four quadrant approach includes four things. First is text. Generally text is a textbook. So you have already your textbook, but remember, generally our textbooks is published by some publishing company. So we cannot use that textbook for putting on courses, right? So for that you have to write either content yourself or you have to use educational resources which are available free of cost online. So one part is text, the second part is video. So you have to create videos, and third part is discussion forum. And for text you require some images, and for that you may have require screenshot and all that things. So text is required, then videos are required, and third component is discussion forum so that you can interact with students. So third component is discussion forum. And obviously education is not just teaching, but it also involves evaluation. So to evaluate student you require assessment part. So there are certain platforms available free of cost which are hosted on cloud, as explained by Hardik Bhai, that we can use to deploy our program and courses, right? Before going to Swayam, we can use these platforms. But for that you require these four components, and for that four component you have to use certain tools. તમારે આ ચારેય કમ્પોનન્ટ બનાવવા માટે અમુક ટૂલ્સ વાપરવા પડશે. તો એ ટૂલ્સ છે એના વિશે આજે આપણે વાત કરવાના છીએ. અને અહીંયા there are hundreds of tools, right? પણ એમાંથી આપણે અત્યારે એવા ટૂલ્સની વાત કરીએ છીએ જે either free of cost છે અથવા તો એ તમને અમુક લિમિટેડ પીરિયડ માટે ફ્રીલી અવેલેબલ છે. તો એના વિશે આપણે આજે વાત શરૂ કરીએ. તો આજે આપણે શું ડિસ્કસ કરવાના છીએ એના વિશે વાત કરીએ. આપણે ફ્રી એજ્યુકેશનલ ટૂલ્સ વિશે વાત કરશું જે તમે આજથી જ ઉપયોગમાં લઈ શકો છો, રાઈટ? Then we will discuss types of e-learning. There are two types of e-learning. One is called synchronous, which is face to face like this, and another is asynchronous e-learning. In asynchronous e-learning, student can learn their place, time and their own pace. And finally we try to discuss learning management system, and if time permits we will discuss one learning management system which is similar to Swayam, which provides all the features recommended by UGC, four quadrant approach, and it is freely available to teacher, right? So let us start. So what is educational tools? Educational tools helps us in developing educational content, right? So there are different types of educational tools are available. First is infographics, then text to speech, then digital storytelling, podcast, survey, poll and quizzes for assessment, screen capturing. Suppose I am teaching some computer subject, I need to show screenshot to student. So for that I require screen capturing. Then there are social bookmarking tools available. Then bibliography and citation tools, which is also called reference management system. Then sticky notes, photo and image editing tools required, because you sometimes need to edit photo, need to crop or resize or something like that. Then there are testing and quizzing tools are there. Web conferencing like this is there, which is also used for teaching and learning. And there are annotation tools. And finally, important is video tools. So we will discuss some of these tools. See, there are many tools are available, but here I have tried to explain tools which are free for everyone. So let us start with infographics. What is infographics? So an infographics is a collection of imagery, charts, and minimal text that gives an easy to understand overview of topic. It is used to explain complex process, display research finding or survey data, summarize long blog post or report, compare and contrast multiple options, and raise awareness about an issue or cause. So here you can see the list of tools to create infographics. Now, please remember, these are the not only tools available to create infographics. There are hundreds of other tools are available, but to showcase certain tools, I have selected these. So first tool is MChart Visual Editor. So it allows you to use chart as a web service. It provides a facility to create chart online. Now, how it works, let us try to understand. So here you can see the home page of this. I have given a link for each and every tool so that you can directly go to that site. So here, suppose I want to create certain chart to show it to my student. So I can click on this make chart, and here you have to select chart. Different types of charts are available. So you can select these charts, and then you have to just provide data here, and it will automatically create chart accordingly. So you can see my chart is keep changing, right? So here you can add data, you can add more row, columns, you can rename these categories, and once your chart is prepared, you can store it as an image or you can save it as a HTML page. So this is example of infographics. So there are many tools available, but here without any signing, you just require internet connection and browsers, and you can create many kind of charts which are generally require some spreadsheet program to create this kind of chart. But here you need not anything except internet connection and browser. So this is, you can quickly create charts. Then there is a chart bin, which allows you to create your own interactive map. You can have world map and you can show many things on this world map. So you can try that yourself, because we have very limited time. So I cannot give all these tools. તો એ તમે જાતે પણ કરી શકશો. Then છે easily. તો એ તમને create and share visual ideas online. So fourth is Gleafy. Again, it is a free web-based diagram editor. Create and share flowchart, network diagram, floor plans, user interface design and other drawings online. તો આ બધા ટૂલ છે એ ઓનલાઈન અવેલેબલ છે, અને એમાં તમે અલગ અલગ પ્રકારની વસ્તુઓ કરી શકો છો. આમાં તમે ચાર્ટ દોરી શકો છો, તો ગ્લિફીમાં તમે આવા બધા નેટવર્ક ડાયાગ્રામ્સ છે, ફ્લો ચાર્ટ છે, બધું ઓનલાઈન ક્રિએટ કરી શકો. તો આ બધી વસ્તુ તમે યુઝ કરી અને તમારું ઇન્ફોગ્રાફ બનાવી શકો છો. એવી જ રીતે જેમ ગૂગલ આપણને અલગ અલગ સર્વિસીસ પ્રોવાઈડ કરે છે, એમ છે ગૂગલ ચાર્ટ ટૂલ્સ. તો ગૂગલ ચાર્ટ ટૂલની મદદથી પણ તમે ચાર્ટ્સ બનાવી શકો છો. તો આ જે છે એ તમને ઝડપથી ચાર્ટ બનાવવાની ફેસિલિટી આપશે. આમાં કોઈ પણ પ્રકારના તમારે સોફ્ટવેર કે કશું ઇન્સ્ટોલ કરવાનું જરૂર પડતી નથી. ત્યારબાદ છે ટેક્સ્ટ ટુ સ્પીચ. તો ઘણીવાર તમારે તમારી ટેક્સ્ટને ઓડિયો ફોર્મેટમાં ફેરવવી છે, તો એને આપણે જનરલી ટેક્સ્ટ ટુ સ્પીચ તરીકે ઓળખતા હોય છે. A text to speech, abbreviated as TTS, is a form of speech synthesis that converts text into spoken voice output. Text-to-speech systems were first developed to aid the visually impaired by offering a computer-generated spoken voice that would read text to the user. તો આ ટેક્સ્ટ ટુ સ્પીચ છે એ તમને કાં તો તમને સ્ક્રીન પરથી વાંચીને સંભળાવે છે અથવા તો એને તમને સ્ટોર કરવા દે છે. હવે આમાંથી ઘણા બધા પ્રોગ્રામ છે એ તમે ઓફલાઈન એઝ એ પ્રોગ્રામ ડાઉનલોડ કરી શકો છો. ઘણા છે એ તમને ગૂગલના એક્સટેન્શન તરીકે મળે છે અને ઘણા છે એ ઓનલાઈન સર્વિસ પ્રોવાઈડ કરે છે. તો આપણે લેટ અસ ટ્રાય ટુ એક્સપ્લોર વન. ફર્સ્ટ ઇઝ Anouncify. So Anouncify reads out loud every website you want. તો આપણે એક એક્ઝામ્પલ જોઈએ. તો અહીંયા તમે દાખલા તરીકે વોટ ઇઝ જાવા સર્ચ કર્યું છે તો તમને આ પેજ જોવા મળે છે. તો હવે અહીંયા મારું ગૂગલ પ્લગઇન છે Anouncify નું. તમે મારું માઉસ પોઇન્ટર જોશો તો ખ્યાલ આવશે. તો હું એના પર ક્લિક કરું છું. અત્યારે તમે જુઓ છો કે બાકીની ટેક્સ્ટ છે એ એને ડીમ કરી દીધી છે. તો તમે જોયું હશે કે એ રીડ આઉટ કરે છે, જે ટેક્સ્ટ છે એને રીડ આઉટ કરે છે. એટલું જ નહીં, જે પેરેગ્રાફ વાંચે છે એ સિવાયનું બધું તમને ડીમ કરી દે છે. એટલે કે તમે જે વાંચી રહ્યા છે એ જ ટેક્સ્ટ તમને દેખાય છે. એવી રીતે છે બાલા બોલકા. તો ઇટ ઇઝ ઓન સ્ક્રીન ટેક્સ્ટ વિચ કેન બી સેવ્ડ એઝ અ ઓડિયો ફાઇલ. તમે ખાલી સાંભળો એટલું નહીં, પણ એને તમે ટેક્સ્ટને ઓડિયો ફાઇલમાં ઓટોમેટિકલી કન્વર્ટ કરી શકશો. ધેન program can read varieties of files. એટલે not only text but it can also read varieties of files. Then there is a tool called DSpeech. So it is a TTS program with ASR integrated. It also accepts voice command. It has a automatic speech recognition integrated. So it also accepts voice as an input and gives voice as a output. So it is able to read aloud the written text and choose the sentence to be pronounced based upon the vocal answer of the user. And there is a free natural reader in which you can upload text and documents and convert to MP3 to listen to anywhere, anytime. તો આ બધા ટૂલ છે એની મદદથી તમે તમારી જે ટેક્સ્ટ છે એને ઓડિયો, તમારી ટેક્સ્ટ છે એનું તમારે ઓબ્વિયસલી એ જે તમારા ત્યાં પ્રીડિફાઇન જે વોઇસ હશે એ આવશે. જો તમારે જાતે કરવું હોય તો તમારે આગળ આપણે ટૂલ જોશું એનાથી જાતે રેકોર્ડ કરવું પડે. પણ તમારે ટેક્સ્ટને ઓડિયોમાં ફેરવવું છે અથવા સાંભળવું છે તો એના માટે તમે આનો યુઝ કરી શકો છો. ત્યારબાદ છે ડિજિટલ સ્ટોરી ટેલિંગ. તો સ્ટોરી ટેલિંગ ઇઝ અ વે ટુ એક્સપ્લેન કોમ્પ્લેક્સ topic using simple pictures. So it is a practice of using computer-based tool to tell story. As with traditional storytelling, most digital stories focus on a specific topic and contain particular point of view. Usually contain some mixture of computer-based images, text, recorded audio narration, video clips, and other. So it typically lasts between 2 and 10 minutes. So using digital storytelling, you can have different types of avatars or comics that you can use in your story. You can mix them together to tell us or to show the conversation, and this is how it works. So there are 5 tools: Animoto, Make Beliefs Comics, Piclits, Pixton, and Smilebox. So if I click on this, it will move me to that site. Now here is a small video which you can see to understand. So you have to add photos and videos, and then you have to drag and drop, and then you have to customize these photos using some templates. You can change color and theme, and then you can share on any device or by different means. So here you can quickly create storytelling. So likewise, there are other tools available that you can use to create Now this Pixton is very good tool which empowers the world to communicate graphically with comics. There are predefined comics available which you can use by using drag and drop method, and they can converse with each other. You can use balloons and text to show this digital storytelling. Then there is a podcast. Now suppose I want to give my student with audio lecture series, right? So that is called podcasting. Podcasting is a free service that allows internet users to pull audio files from a podcasting website to listen to on their computer or personal digital audio players. Now, how this podcast comes? So term comes from a combination of the word iPod and broadcasting. iPod is a personal digital audio player made by Apple. So iPod and broadcast comes together as a term podcast. So there are many tools available to record your audio. You can easily edit this audio. So I recommend all these to download this Audacity. Audacity is a free, easy to use multi-track audio editor and recorder for Windows, Mac, GNU Linux and other OS. So it is a very lightweight program that of just 25 MB size that you can download and install on your computer and easily record and edit your audio. So suppose I want to record my lecture, how I can record? Here I have installed Audacity. So this is a Audacity interface. Now just I have to press this record button and it will start recording my voice. So I am clicking on this. Namaskar dear students. Welcome to the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. I, Dr. Himanshu Patel, welcomes you all. Now I have to pause this stop button. But this is how your audio will record it. Now suppose I want to remove these. So just drag and select and press delete button. So it will be removed. Suppose I want to add a new file before this recording. I can easily do that. So suppose this file I want to add to Audacity. So here I am drag and put that file. So here you can see now I have two tracks. So first is my voice or audio lecture, and this is my already recorded content, right? Which may be jingle for your lecture. So what I can do is I can copy this much portion, remove remaining portion, and I can put this and paste. So copy and paste is just Control C and Control V and Control X, right? So you can quickly now it has a combine. Now I can save this file as a MP3 or WAV format. So this is how Audacity quickly allows you to record your audio lectures, and you can deploy that lecture on some Google Drive or via some medium to reach to student. There are other tools available like Podbeans, TalkShow, Podomatic, and Ardour. So you can use these tools to record audio lectures quickly, and it is easily available free of cost, right? Then there are surveys, polls, and quizzes. Survey is a general inspection of someone or something so as to appraise them. And poll records opinion or what? We know the difference between survey, poll, and quizzes. Quizzes are written or verbal and tend to test a person's knowledge in a brief yet informal way. So there are many tools are available to conduct survey, polls, and quizzes. So one of the best example is Google Forms. I might you might use Google Form to create survey. Now, what is the advantage of using Google Form is that you can create online form, you can check out result, and it is stored in a spreadsheet. So that you can, once you will get all this data, you can quickly analyze it. Similarly, there are other tools like SurveyMonkeys, AdPoll, free online surveys, and Obeon forms. These Orbeon forms are built and deploy complex web forms, which is used by enterprise or government. So you can try out these tools to conduct survey polls and quizzes. Now there are screen capturing tools. Screen capturing means record video from the computer screen, and video source could be your screen, entire screen, particular window, or a tab, which is Google tab. So audio source can be the system's audio, microphone, or no audio at all. You can record without audio also. So these are the screen capturing tools. So first is the Clip2Net, another is PRT SCR, then Fast on Capture, Screen Presso, and Screen Shot Capture. So here you can see my Clip2Net is installed. So here is a symbol you can see here. So suppose I want to upload something from this screen itself, then I have to press this and it will show me this area to select. So I am selecting this area. Now it will automatically updated here, and I can annotate something and save these also. So here I can upload these or download these. Whatever changes I have made, I can save or download. So Clip2Net upload screenshot instantly or use built-in editor to highlight important details. Highlight your image with marker, arrow, notes, or hide personal information with blur tool. So this is how you can quickly capture screen and modify according to your needs, right? So these are the tools that you can try. The next tool is a social bookmarking. So what is social bookmarking? Social bookmarking is an online service which allows user to add, annotate, edit, and share bookmarks of web document. We know that in browser we bookmark some important page, right? So this is an example of bookmark. And this company Delicious, founded in 2003, popularized the term social bookmarking and tagging. Now, what are the tools that you can use for social bookmarking? So first is a Symbaloo Edu, then Pearl Trace, Diago Education Edition, Pinterest, and Shareativity. So all these provides you the facility to organize and share the best of the web with your student. Organize teaching resource all in one place. It is a these tools are placed to collect, organize, and share on the web. You can bookmark web page, file, photos, videos, notes, and many things you can bookmark and share with your students, right? So these are the tools. Then bibliography and citation tools. These are called reference management system. So basically reference management software is a citation management software, company reference software, or personal bibliography management software, which is used by scholars and authors to use for recording and utilizing bibliographic citation, as well as managing project reference either as a company or as an individual. When you write your thesis, PhD thesis or MPhil thesis, right? So you are using many references or citation. So each citation you have to mention at the end in bibliography. So what will happen if your citation style is changed? Suppose I am using IEEE style. Now my guide says that you have to use this style. Then it is very difficult for me to rearrange all the citation and create bibliography again. So it allows you to not only cite, but create bibliography according to particular style and format. Now, what are the bibliography and citation tools? So first tool is Zotero, which is used to collect, organize, cite, and share your research sources, right? Then there is a Mendeley. Mendeley is a free citation and paper management tool with up to 2 GB of cloud storage. And Mendeley has a desktop application, mobile app, and Chrome browser extension, and making it easy to use across multiple devices. So for Zotero and Mendeley, both mobile app is also there. So you can manage your account either through your computer, laptop, or mobile device, right? And there are other tools like Citation Generator, ReferenceWorks, EndNote is also used for bibliography and citation. You can explore all these through free of cost. So I have given a link for each and every tool so that you can have this PPT and you can try it yourself. Then there is a Sticky Note. Now, Sticky Note is introduced by Windows operating system. You can use Sticky Notes to help organize yourself, your studies, your office, and your household. Sticky Notes are an electronic version of small colored piece of paper that can be stuck to almost anything. In Microsoft Windows, Sticky Notes was first introduced with Windows 7 and enable user to have electronic reminder post on their screen. So you might have used this Sticky Note. Google Keep is another example which captures notes, share them with others, and access them from your computer, phone, or tablet. I use Google Keep to share data between mobile and my device. How? I just put my thing that I need to share between two devices in Google Keep, and from that account, I download that data. So you can use this kind of sharing using this Sticky Note tool also. Then Lean or It is another Sticky Note tool. It is a free sticky and canvas service that requires nothing but a web browser. Remember, you need not to install anything else. You just have a browser and internet connection. You can use all these tools. Then there is a Pinup. Pinup take notes from your browser, share and collaborate with others in real time, and reach your notes from anywhere. And Padlet. Padlet is gives you a blank page or wall, and you put anything you want on it anywhere. So it is perhaps the easiest way to use by children. So they can put their content in a single place and it can be accessed by others. So this is a Sticky Note. Then there is a photo and image editing tools which you require to edit your photo and image. So there are many tools available. Now Inkscape is a open source vector graphics editor. We know that there are two types of There are two types of graphics, vector and bitmap. So like it provides facility like CorelDRAW, Sara, and Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. So Madam, online webinar માં છું હમણાં તો. Sorry to interrupt. This is a open source so that you can download it freely, and you have all this functionality which is provided by these professional softwares. Then there is a Pixlr. It is online photo editor. That means you need not to download. You just upload your photo and you can do editing. There is a Photoshop, SketchUp, and Kaku. So all these are tools which are available online that you can use to edit photo and image. And there are certain tools which are used for testing and quizzing. So these tool allows you to create quizzes, activities, and test quickly with different types of questions. You can have multiple choice question, you can have blanks, you can have descriptive question. So you can use these tools for create test and quiz. So we have Class Marker. It is a web-based testing service and easy to use, customizable online test marker for business, training and educational assessment with test and quizzes graded instantly. There is other tool called Class Tools, which creates free games, quizzes, activities, and diagram in seconds. And you can host them on your own blog, website, or intranet. So you can try out these testing and quizzing tools for creating test or quiz. Then there are web conferencing tool. Web conferencing tool provides means of synchronous teaching learning experience. So it is a technology that allows user in different location to hold face-to-face meetings without having to move to a single location together. It uses for video conferencing. Uses for video conferencing include holding routine meetings, negotiating business deals, and interviewing job candidates. So for this purpose, you can use web conference. Now, nowadays we all know what is web conferencing. So you can use any meeting, Zoom, Google Meet, Big Blue Button, or View. Besides this, GoToWebinar. So Zoom allows to host up to 100 participants with 40 limits on group meetings and unlimited number of meetings. And Google Meet hosts up to 100 participants up to 1 hour, and there is unlimited number of meetings in a day. So you can use these video conferencing tool free of cost to interact with your student at a particular time. The only disadvantage is we have to both teacher and student should be available at the same time. So these are the tools that you can use. Then there are annotation tools. Annotate means to put comment on something. So annotation tools are drawing and text tool used to draw attention to content. Generally, we put comment in Word document. So that is called annotation. Annotation tools can be used on any content where they appear, such as whiteboard, picture, or PowerPoint presentation, to add diagrams or draw attention to a portion of the center stage area. Now, what are the tools? So, Diigo is one of the most commonly used free web annotation tools, which lets you bookmark and tag web pages. The web page that you show here, this is not actually, if you visit this page, it is not in yellow color, but I have bookmark, I have annotated these with color using this Diigo. So here you can see Diigo as a Chrome extension. So if I say annotate PDF, then it asks to put my PDF here. If I say edit bookmark, so this is how you can work Diigo as a extension also. So it is easy to use. Now, second is markup.io. So markup allows you to draw on any web page using built-in tools. Simply go to their website, drag the icon located at the lower right-hand corner of the page to the bookmark bar of your browser. So basically, all these are online tools that does not require installed anything on your computer. Either they are as an online service or as an extension to your browser. So you can quickly annotate a web page and PDF files using annotation tool. Then there are tools to record your video. So these are the tools like Screencastify, Cam Studio, Webinaria, Screenomatic, and SVid. So here we take one example of Screencastify. Recordings auto save to your Google Drive. instantly share the Google Drive link, upload directly to YouTube, export as an MP4, animated GIF or MP3. So how it, and if I press record, so right now it cannot access my microphone because I'm already using it in this conversation. But when I press record, it will start my recording, and when I stop, it will immediately upload it on my Google Drive. So this is how you can quickly record your videos using this Screencastify. The other tools are Cam Studio, which is able to record all screen and audio activity on your computer and create industry standard AVI videos. Webinaria is an open source, easy to use screencast tool, which lets you capture your screen activity and do picture-in-picture video by adding your webcam. It means that in background, my PPT is there and I can have my small screen on front. So this is how this picture-in-picture works. Then there is a very good tool called Screenomatic, which allows you to screen recording and video editing. It does not only allow recording, but it also allows editing. So you can try out these tools to record your video. Now, I hope that these tools are useful to use for creating various kind of contents like image, video, graphs, and all that kind of things you can create as a audio. Now, let us try to understand types of e-learning. As I mentioned earlier, there are fundamentally two types of e-learning. One is called synchronous learning and another is called asynchronous learning. So here, we have already discussed synchronous learning. This kind of learning where student and teachers are together in web conferencing is an example of synchronous learning. The disadvantage is that both have to present at the same time. But what are the benefits? You have ability to log or track learning activities. You have continuous monitoring and correction, possibility of global connectivity and collaboration, and ability to personalize the training for each learner. You know that these learners need to focus. Then asynchronous learning. Some is the example of asynchronous learning. Here, student has a flexibility to learn at their own pace, time, and place. So this is asynchronous learning. Now, what are the advantages of asynchronous learning? It is available just in time for instant learning and reference. Student can access Swayam site from their mobile device, their laptop, their desktop, anywhere. Flexibility of access from anywhere at any time. Then ability to simultaneously reach an unlimited number of learners. We know that MOOC, massive open online courses, we can reach n number of learners, and uniformity of content and one-time cost of production. You have to prepare cost from best expert single time, and it is available forever. So for creating this learning experience, you require learning management system. So learning management system is a global term for computer system specifically developed for managing online courses, distributing course material, and allowing collaboration between learner and teachers. So Swayam is an example of learning management system or MOOC platform, right? So in backend, there is a facility for configuring course, hosting different type of content, conducting quiz and assessment. So in backend, it is a basically learning management system. From front of you, it is a massive open online course platform, but in backend side, it is a learning management system. So what are the desirable features of learning management system? It should have easy graphic user interface. It should have customization facility. It should have process for enrolling student. It should have facility for synchronous learning. There are many ways of communication like chat, email, then message, etc. And there should be process for tracking progress of each student, and there are certain reports required which should be provided by learning management system. Now, what are the benefit of LMS? We have already discussed. It provides discussion forum, real-time messaging, video conferencing, email, announcement, and post. It has accessibility to all learners regardless of their location. Then there is no restriction. There is a flexibility for students. There are varieties of learning modes, and collaboration is also possible. And there is a support for community of learners working together for knowledge sharing. So these are the benefit of LMS. Now there are certain types of learning management system, like installed LMS software on your server, which can be accessed through intranet. Then there is a web-based learning management system which can be accessed from anywhere. There are certain commercial LMS which you can purchase, and there are certain free and open source learning management system that you can try out, right? So today we will discuss this free and open LMS that you can try. So these are the popular learning management system: Blackboard, Desire to Learn, Edmodo, Google Sites, Neo, RCampus, Schoology, Moodle, Camilio, OpenEdX, TotraLearn, and Canvas. Now, some are in blue color and some are in red color. So these red color learning management systems are either completely free or they provide you some storage space with limited time period. But this Canvas is a completely free for teachers. So what you can do is you can try this Canvas for configuring your course like Swayam. So you have to upload your videos, your text, your quizzes, and discussion forum on Canvas in a few minutes. So it is very easy to configure all these quadrant on these LMS Canvas. And again, there is no time limitation. It is completely free for teachers. So out of these, you can try this Canvas. That is my recommendation. And you can try Moodle also, but it gives you 400 MB space with 200 users and just 2-month time for hosting your course. But this Canvas is again free. So you can try out any of these course, any of these LMS to host your course content, right? So these are the screenshot of various LMS that we have discussed. This is a Blackboard. This is a homepage of Desire to Learn. This is a Edmodo. This is a site, Google site. So you can use these also. Then there is a Moodle that I've already told you. Then Neo LMS that you can try. RCampus, Schoology, Camilio, and OpenEdX. Now these OpenEdX is also provide you IBM cloud distribution where you can host your learning management system or MOOC platform. Then there is a TotraLearn, and this is a what I am told you to try is a Canvas. So it is an open source LMS that is free for instructor. Instructor or teacher can try these for free without any restriction, except there are 500 MB spaces provided to host content. Now what you can do is you can host all your audio and video on your Drive or YouTube, and then you can fetch video from YouTube as a link or external URL, and audio from Drive as an external URL. so that you can have enough space for hosting any course, right? So it makes teaching and learning easier in terms of implementation, adoption, customer support, and success. It is adaptable, reliable, and customizable. Its interface and features are crafted to save you time and efforts. So you can try this. Now I have covered all the screenshot for creating account, login into your account, then how to configure your course on these platforms. So you will get these everything screenshot in your presentation shared by me to the department, which again shared with you. So this is how you can use Canvas. So in today's session, we discuss various types of learning tools that you can use to create various types of content like audio, video, annotation, and host them on this free open source learning management system. I think I should conclude now. And if you have any question, you can ask.